stupid stuff. Like, I didn't get molested. Like, it's sad that you hear these things, like a lot of gay guys are molested by a family member. I never had them problems. I've never been faulted as a kid or anything like that. I mean, if anything, me and my little friends was like, you show me yours, I show you mine. Or we thought we was doing something, but we was humping. But I think I knew when I was about 5 or 6 years old, and I kept it to myself. I tried my best to fight it. God knows I tried. And especially growing up in a Pentecostal household, you know that's really tough.
Wow.
You know, the way they can do things and say things. So, yes, I tried my best, and I think all of that with girlfriends, all of that was just to make people comfortable or be comfortable in my skin. But after high school, I would say about 19, that's when I said to myself, this is me. And my brothers and sisters was like, they always supported. They were just like, well, whatever you decide to do, just we here for you. And my mother, for my mother to be a religious woman, she would just say, I don't care what he is, he's mine, and he better be the bestest out there. So, and didn't let nobody talk about me neither. That's the only time I see my mother put her Jesus aside is she's the only one can call me sissy or fatty. But you better not be up in the pulpit and saying little slick stuff about gays or anything like that, knocking them. She's not going to be rude, but she would just sit there. And, you know, you can look at her face expression, and then she would say little things that I wasn't supposed to hear. Like, my mom would say, it's so funny, this preacher up in the pulpit hollering about homo this and homo that. And I grew up with this person, and I knew some stuff about him that I never said anything about. So you better leave my baby alone. So it must have been about 19 years old when I came out and what have you. And I, you know, had little boyfriends, but it wasn't really love until I was in a relationship, and we'll probably get to that a little later.
Oh, okay.
But next question.
Great. Next question is, when did you start going out to the gay clubs, and what clubs were you going to?
I am so glad, Izzy, you brought that up, because when we was getting ready for this show, you know, two legendary people who I don't have no grudges against them at all, but I am going to kind of beat them up tonight. I'm going to keep it real, and we'll get to that a little later. But I'm glad you asked me that question, because Stuart Revlon, which is Dorian Stewart Ebony. I don't know why the hell he's an Ebony now, but I guess the Revlons got tired of his troublemaking ass, getting him in trouble all the time. But he said, Stewart posted on a comment, you know how the fags can throw shade. Wendell LaBelle cannot be out 33, 35 plus years. Now, when I sat back and I read and I did my homework, I said, you know what, I am a little off. So it wasn't 35 or 33. It was quite actually 33. So I was a few years off. But I'm glad you asked me that question, was because this is how I know when I came out. Do you remember or ever heard of, because I don't know if you is, I doubt very serious you up there with me, I'm 47. But do you remember the Paradise Garage? It was a well-known club in New York City.
I know
Paradise
the club. It is a very legendary club, but I never
it was a lot of the
experienced
DJs,
the garage.
Barry Levine, all of them made it big there. A lot of celebrities, LaBelle, they performed there and everything. But what I'm getting at is, I came out on the club scene the last 4 months before Paradise Garage closed down. And what this club would do, it would take all night to tell you how cute the music was. But they had straight night on Friday, and they had gay night on Saturday. And I was away in college. I was doing my first semester in Farmingdale State University. That's in Long Island. I just wanted to get out of the house and experience my gayness. So when I got out of high school, I just threw myself in college. Didn't know nothing about agriculture and all that other BS. But I wanted to get out of my mom's house. Well, I will come home the last 3 months on Friday night to party with the straights, and then turn around and go back the next night, Saturday night. So you had to be a member to get in, or they'll pick you. So I was back then I wasn't really wearing the big hair, but I was weird. I had a nose across my face, and, you know, I had my own little funky style, these big dome sleeves. Everybody remember them get-ups I used to wear. But I remember that because Paradise Garage closed down, and I came out 3 months. So whatever year that was, which was 87, yes, because if I finished high school in 86, and then the fall of 86, I went away to college. And then the springtime, yes, it was, you know, so it was 87 when they closed down. And then right after they closed, it was Tracks. So the club scenes was Tracks, Paradise Garage, Midtown 43, Peter Rabbit's, the New Land, which was really the Latin quarters, but on certain nights they called it the New Lands. And that song that you played, Music Is My Life, that was like my trademark, because whenever I would walk in the club with my hair, whoever was DJing, they would put that on, and I would hit that stage, and the kids be voguing, but I was on top of the stage with my big dome sleeves and my hair and rhinestone glued on my face. It was, you know, so it was like 87, 88, those clubs and bars and things like that.
I know that's right. Those were the fun days, the original days.
The original days, yes, the days that with the kids was when you first step in that scene, which is this gay life, you know, which I, myself, don't really consider myself. I'm just human, and I love God. I don't knock nobody, so I don't consider myself like, oh, I'm this and I'm that. No, I don't want to come off like that, because we'll probably get to it a little later. A lot of people know me, say, well, now Wendell is born again. Yes, I am born again. We're all saved. We're all saved by grace and what have you. And I'm a true believer. Don't take all of that to get to heaven. You know what I'm saying? If I don't go to heaven when I die, it's not because I was gay. I'm going to heaven. I'm going to the other place because of me happened to go outside one of these shady punks in this ballroom scene. That's the only reason why I might go to hell.
I know that's right.
But what I want to say is those are the days, and when I tell you, Izzy, as nice as it was, you walk in the club and everybody, oh, how you doing, Miss Wendell? I say, hate that. I hate when you call me Miss Wendell or whatever. Just call me Wendell or yeah, I just didn't like it. But then again, it was just slang talk for the children. And when they would say, oh, I love you, and give you a kiss when you come in, you think that, oh, man, I just came out the closet. These are my friends, and this same fag that kissed you on the cheek would turn you out. And I'm so glad you gave me a chance to say this, because here's a little story, a true story. I'm going to make it real short.
Ooh.
That I've never told nobody.
Make it hot,
but I'm going to tell you this. There was he was legendary. He's still around. His name was Oswell Peterson. But he's Oswell from the House of St. Laurent. And I remember this one particular night getting in Tracks. You know, she was all, you know, the bottom kids was, you know, shady and crafty, and sometimes they're a little slicker than I could be. You know, I get home and I think about it and say, no, this bitch didn't get me. But Oswell St. Laurent, Tracks was the first 500. This big club was real cute. A lot of balls was held there.
All right.
The first 500 will get in free if you there on time and stuff. And, you know, back in them days, the kids had to make their little coins or whatever way they were doing it and stuff.
It was the first
so if you didn't get there, the first 500, $5 to get in. Well, let me tell you what Oswell St. Laurent did. I used to get out of the yellow cab with my patty hair. Oh, no, I didn't have my patty hair that night because I was looking like a boy. And like a regular little dude. But I had a Calvin Klein jacket. And, you know, the jacket ain't no more than $30, $40 because Tracks reimbursed me. But Oswell came up to me and said, hey, Miss Wendell, and gave me a kiss. Listen, I see you standing online or whatever, stuff like that. Listen, give me your jacket and I'll put our jackets together. So when I got ready to leave, they could not find my little Calvin Klein jacket. And Oswell was nowhere to be found. So there was Conrad. He was a well-known manager for a lot of gay clubs. He said, Wendell? No, he called me Patty. Patty, you got to give us a week and we'll find it. If not, we'll reimburse you. So they did reimburse me. But would you believe this, Izzy? that it came to me like maybe 15 years, 20 years later, that this faggot got me for a little Calvin Klein jacket. I laugh about it now. But he literally say, let me, I know you're talking to your friends, give me your jacket, and I'll check it in with both of us. And I know if he's somewhere out there, or his house kids, because you know he's House of St. Laurent, they're probably laughing and listening to this kikiing about it, saying, Oswell, let me tell you what Miss Patty Wendell said. She brought up about you taking her Calvin Klein jacket, and I never said anything to him about it. And it's okay, though, because he's another one that's in and out of rehab all his life, so shit like that, you let... That was shade thrown out because, you know, she's funny, too. I ran into her after Octavia's St. Laurent funeral, which was a beautiful girl. She was lovely. That was my friend. She's always... You heard of Octavia, right? You knew who she was.
Of course. We kikied on 42nd Street.
Yes, she was always...
With Amanda Realness, darling.
And she would always say to me, hello, beautiful. Hello, beautiful. And at a moment that back then, these girls was all little king noses. Everybody was trying to look like Janet Jackson and all this stuff. So I used to think that maybe she was being shady to me when she used to go, hello, beautiful, because I'll be the first to admit, you take my hair and my pretty clothes off, I look like Mr. Potato Head. I've never been one that said I was a face pig or what have you. I got older and got better looking again. And when 50 Cent and Busta Rhymes stepped on the scene, all that pointy nose and looking like that went out. The boys love my fullness features and everything now. Boys and girls. But what I'm saying, back to Octavia, she would say, hello, beautiful. Hello, beautiful. And I used to think maybe she was being a little shady. But right before she died, I ran into her and she said, maybe a year or two before she passed. And I said, you always call me beautiful. And she said, you know why I call you beautiful, Wendell? And I said, why? She said, because you were always real. You have a beautiful heart, and the kids can't take it. You don't come in these ballrooms. You're not bothered. And when she said that to me, it pierced my soul, my heart, that this legendary, beautiful woman, Octavia St. Laurent, told me, I call you beautiful because of your heart. Anybody that's been in your presence, been around you, you were good to make people laugh. You were just nice. And that was a good compliment to get from somebody like her and her status. And, when she passed, it was like all the living legends and icons came out. And, people ain't seen me since like 92. But I was at her service. And speaking of her service, I was glad I was there because Izzy, baby, when I tell you, she brought out everybody, but you can look at the ones that took care of themselves, and then you can look at the ones that's supposed to be, I'm legend this, and I'm icon this, and I have this, and I have that, and they look like doodle on a stick at her service. God forgive me for saying that, but they look so bad. And I can call a few names, but I ain't gonna get there just now. I'm not gonna go there right now, but yes, I felt good when they saw me and realized it was
It's not the Shade Fest hour yet, darling. We still got a little bit before that comes out, buddy. So stay tuned.
When they saw me after like damn near 20 years, they said to themselves, and you know when you look good because they don't never compliment you. See, that's something that a lot of these gays need to realize, that, especially with this ballroom scene, you don't really, really, really have to get grand prize or first place. It's that when you walk that runway, is when that judge panel go 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. You get 10s across the board. That's a way of saying you bought it. Now, of course, when they start telling you to battle and bring it down the runway and stuff like that, and you're going up against someone, it's rigged. I don't know if the balls are like that now, but I know back then, come on, I can tell you about all these children doing these balls with this grand prize of 1,000 to 2,500, and they know witness well they ain't got that money in the house. Now, punks like me done spent our last to make something to walk in, thinking we gonna get that money, and them shady ass house kids already picked out who they gonna give it to, because they not really giving them $1,000. They gonna give them $200. But they fast. That's the thing that gets me.
Okay.
So, yes, baby. Yes. Here's another little cute little